Oh, we're live. Don't mind me, I'm just smoking my ink pen. How's everybody doing? My name is Jared Fuller, aka the Jerry Bear, and we are live on YouTube for the last Sunday video update of the month of March 2026. My name is Jared Fuller, aka the Jerry Bear. Today's date is Sunday, March 29th, 2026. I hope you're all doing well. Hope you're having a great weekend. I hope you had a wonderful week last week. Hello, Alex Engineer. I hope you're doing well, buddy. I'm flying solo right now. Dad and Amy had to go to Owasso to take care of some business on a Sunday. Yes. So I am here by myself, and I will be here for the next hour talking about random stuff. So I hope you're all doing well out there, having a great weekend. Alex, I hope you're doing well. And before I get to anything else, we have some comments in the chat. First off, tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern Time is the Fox Sunday Flashback with Dan Richards, and he is currently taking requests on his Facebook page called the Fox Sunday Flashback with Dan Richards. But the number to call is area code 810-230-9777. Again, it's 810-230-9777. Dan plays classic rock, classic country, and southern rock, and all at your request. So he will be on the air tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. There's a link in the chat. So you can go and check out the website, listen live as the music is playing from the station in Flint, Michigan. You can be anywhere in the world and listen to the station. But he will be going live tonight from 7 until 11 Eastern Time on 103.9 The Fox. Make sure you guys check it out if you like classic country, southern rock, and classic rock. And we have some comments this week by Chewing Off My Toenail. I think he heard my plea from last week. So this is what we got this week from Chewing Off My Toenail. And I quote, "My toenails will purr like a cat if I pet him gently. If I slap jelly on my lasagna, my toenails will get very sad." Who puts jelly on their lasagna? Obviously, Toenail does. "If I had a purse, my toenails would struggle to crawl out of it." If I had a purse, my toenails would struggle to crawl out of it. When the stars float around the Paramount Pictures logo, my toenails get happy. You know, that it's funny I would read that because earlier this afternoon before I went live, I was watching old Paramount television logos from like the 80s and the 90s and stuff. It's just like you get that nostalgia coming back from your childhood. So it's funny I would read that comment. If a toenail should stand tall for my peanut butter and jelly sandwich, then don't tell me that's wrong. Or don't tell me that it's wrong. When I wake up in the morning, my toenails stand around my bed smiling and waiting for breakfast. If I bite my Pop-Tart into the shape of a 9mm, my toenails will hide under my bed. Aw. If I had $51 in my wallet, I would feed every toenail a $1 meal. So he got 51 toenails. And then he says, "Have a great day." Well, you too. You too. And we have a Jared Fuller fan account. Oh, I bet you are my biggest fan, you fucking fake. Yeah, something told me that someone was going to screenshot me getting up close like this. Like that. Oh, you're a fucking troll, fan account. So you can kiss my balls. So we're going to hide this loser ass troll from chat, and you can go fuck yourself. Jared Fuller fan account, because who takes time out of their day to make up such a stupid account, right? So everybody say goodbye to this so-called fan account right there. Amy says hello from Owasso. So everybody say hi to my mod. Amy, you were kind of late on the putting this piece of shit troll word on, but that's okay. That's fine. I took care of it. And he will not be coming back unless he makes another sock account. It just amazes me that there are people like this who have nothing better to do with their time. I live rent free in people's minds all the time, obviously, because I get shit like this appearing in my chat where you get Jared Fuller fan account. That's great. I'm glad that I live rent free in your head, and I can keep living rent free in my head, and you can keep sucking my dick. So there you go. So moving on, my week this past week was busy. Um, yeah, I know, Amy. My this past week was busy. We actually, um, Dad and I went down to the Back 40. It's a local hangout down here, and a good buddy of mine was in there, and he says, "Hey, you want a shot of Jaeger?" And it's like, I've never had Jägermeister before. I've never actually had a shot of Jägermeister. And so he says, "Come on, I'll buy you a shot." Okay. I'll give it a try. I wasn't sure because I don't drink whiskey. I don't drink any of the hard stuff. But he bought me a shot and he says, "Yep, down the hatch, just drink it." So bottoms up, and it's like, hmm, and it went down smooth. I could taste the alcohol. It went down smooth, but it wasn't bad. However, if you drink enough of them, yeah, if you drink enough Jaeger, you'll feel it. Hi, Jared. Sorry I couldn't be in last week's stream. I got caught up in some stuff here. So no, that's okay. That's fine, Harley. But welcome back anyway. Mine was a so-so week. Yeah, yeah, I'm still trying to get my car repaired. I gotta get new rear calipers replaced. The rotors look good. The rotors look fine, but it's just finding someone who will replace the rotors on the back of my car. So and these garages, the neighborhood garages, they want so much for just for labor costs. I've already got the rotors, or not the rotors, I'm sorry, the calipers. I've already got those, but I just got to pay somebody, the cost of labor to replace them. Um, well, how have I been? Well, that's what I'm explaining right now, Harley. That's why I do this little weekend review thing. Um, I mean, I'm doing okay overall, other than having issues with my car, and I haven't been able to drive it. And the only time I ever get out of the house is when Dad goes somewhere, and he's like, "Well, come on, you can come along. I don't want you to sit around the house and sulk all day." So whenever Dad leaves, he's like, "Come on, let's go. Get your jacket on. Get your boots on. Let's go." So wherever Dad goes, I go. I was up at my Uncle Tim's last week. I haven't been to my Uncle Tim's house in, well, months. I lost track of the last time I was at my Uncle Tim's house, but I went up there, talked to him for a few minutes, talked to a couple of my cousins. My cousin Nevaeh come up, gave me a hug, and my cousin Matt, which is Nevaeh's dad, um, he was in a bit of pain, and but I'm not going to say what that is here. But he's in a lot of pain, and hopefully he gets his situation taken care of very soon. Um, because he had trouble walking, and it's like, man, are you okay? And he just turned 38 years old, and it's like, dude, you're only 38 years old, and but I'm gonna be 40 in July. And it's like we're starting to notice our bodies, the older we get, our bodies tend to go haywire. And for those of you who are watching this, and if you're like in your teens and 20s or 30s or whatever, just know, speaking from experience, your body will start to change. Your body will start to ache more. You'll notice, like, you'll have aches and pains in your legs and in places that you wouldn't imagine. Uh, that's just part of the aging process. Your body goes through changes, and your bones get older. They get brittle when you get older. Um, but you notice the changes. There are changes. And so, yeah, it's just a part of life, and it's, everybody goes through it. But um and Jared Fuller fan account says, "I love you." Yeah. Yeah, fuck off. Um but yeah, it's just one of those things that happens. It's a part of life, and the older you get, the more you feel it. Like I said, I'm gonna be 40 in July, and there are days when I wake up and when I turn just right, like my hips will crack, and it's like, "Oh, that's not good. That's not good at all." Um, and I don't like to crack my knuckles. I don't like to, you know, like just now a bone snapped in my shoulder, like a or it just like a crack. It's like, ugh. But I don't like to snap my knuckles because it can cause arthritis. And so I try to avoid doing that at all costs because I'm trying to lessen or at least reduce my chances of feeling additional pain in my body where it's not necessary. So um, I try to watch what I do and I try to take notice of my habits so I'm not paying for it later. But yeah, I visited with relatives and no, everything's about the same. My cousin, she's gonna have actually, a couple of my cousins are gonna have babies, and, um, baby showers are coming up. Of course, I don't go to baby showers because I personally don't think that baby showers are for men, although men do attend baby showers. I don't, on a very I can't say that, I take that back. I did go to, I think, 2 baby showers that I know of. And it's like, well, this is really not for guys, this is more for women and kids. And, I don't go to stuff like that. Um, but yeah, my week hasn't been all that busy, but I'm still here. I'm still, taking care of business, doing what I got to do to survive. And of course, not taking shit from anybody. Uh, and, I still have this bit of an issue, and I talked about it on my Facebook today, um, where people are, they're not up they raise awareness to childhood cancer, which I don't mind it. I don't mind that at all. You don't have to be affected by childhood cancer to raise awareness to childhood cancer. The issue I have is that you get some of these people, you see what their intentions are. You get people who are here for the clicks and the popularity. And this has been an ongoing issue for years, and it seems like I'm the only one who ever really talks about it. The people are here to grandstand at the expense of children who are fighting cancer. And most of the time, people say to me, they approach me, "Well, don't you grandstand?" No, no, I don't grandstand. As a matter of fact, I talk about my own story as a testimony to help other people whose children are in the battle. That's why I make my story known publicly. I had Wilms tumor kidney cancer when I was 2 years old. I was stage 3. My right kidney was affected. I had, 3 different kinds of chemo. I was on protocol 4 regimen DD-4A, which is a 3 chemo concoction with radiation and a nephrectomy, which is kidney removal surgery. I was treated under that protocol. And, I give specific details of my story. Some of them are kind of grueling, some of them, um, but grueling as they may be, there's still some education involved. I'm not saying that my story is the tell-all, be-all of childhood cancer, and I never made the claim that it was. But my testimony, my story, instead of refraining from it and, like, I don't want that a part of my life, what I do is I lean into it and I say, "This is what I've been through. This is the information I have, and this is what I'm gonna share with you." There are too many people who say, "Well," and they're not directly impacted by childhood cancer at all, not physically like I was. They have no real organic part of this, and they come along and they say, "Well, I've been doing this since I was 10 years old." No, you have not been a you have n no, no, just no. You have not been involved with childhood cancer. You haven't. You can raise awareness, which is fine. Your involvement how I see it when they say, "Well, I've been involved." Yes, okay, you've been involved. I take it back. You've been involved with childhood cancer since you were 10 years old, or so you say. But you have not had to live the reality that I have, and the kids that you allegedly, you wanna help or do whatever for them. You don't know what they go through, and you like to pretend that they do, and that for me is a fucking problem. You don't know what this is like. Stop pretending as though you know what the fuck you're talking about. And it's okay, Amy. And it's obnoxious and it's annoying when people do this shit. Um, and I have a big problem with it. And I've called out numerous people in my daily rant recordings. Jordan Bellows from with pediatric cancer, she's one who just always constantly makes it about herself. Always. Constantly without fail. She'll post pictures and she'll, "Oh, well, this is my new plaything. This is a new child that we're going to spotlight, treating them like a little pawn in their popularity contest. Well, this is the new kid that I'm going to make myself so popular, based. I'm riding the backs of these kids so I can make myself look popular and grand to the rest of the world." You are fucking disgusting. If anybody ever tried that shit with me when I was in the hospital, my parents would have your head on a fucking platter in a heartbeat, because children are not pawns. Children are not bargaining chips. They aren't playthings in your little game of "look at me." It's disgusting and it needs to stop. And I'm annoyed with the fact that so many people in this demographic will they'll turn the other cheek. "Well, I got more important things to worry about." Well, and I agree. You do have more important things to worry about, but this should be like right up there with an important thing. Stop letting outsiders use your kids so they can make names for themselves, because that's all they're here for. And I am sick to fucking death of trying to get people to understand this. They are not genuine in anything they do. Their actions and their behavior kind of says more than their words. Pay attention. It's gross. And my thing is, and it's always been, and I ask some parents in the childhood cancer world, I ask them, between this other person who's never had to go through this and me, who are you likely to turn to for advice? Who are you likely to turn to with questions? You're not going to ask someone who's never been through this. You're going to ask the guy who actually has. And I can tell you what to expect. But for some reason, they put so much faith and they invest so much time into these outsider types who are not here for you, not in the way that you think. And it's a problem. Can't believe people do that, especially when you are an actual cancer survivor. Yeah, yeah, Alex, they do it all the fucking time, and it's obnoxious and it's annoying, and it's really, it's just awful. It's just awful, and I'm sick and tired of people who just turn the other cheek. "Well, they've helped my family financially." Oh, so it's money that makes you gravitate towards these people, because if they didn't have money, what else would they have? It's really that simple. And I understand these families are desperate. Their children are sick, their children are dying, and they are willing to do anything to make their child's final days memorable and happy. And I understand that and I respect that. But a lot of these people, the organizations, these are people who are not in any way affiliated with this cause. They assert themselves into it. They insert themselves into it. And then they wanna come out and talk as though they know so much more about childhood cancer than an actual survivor of nearly 40 years knows. And that is a smug slap in the face to someone who's been through it and actually survived it. And I that's gonna be an issue until, for me, it's gonna be an issue, and it should be an issue for other people. And I'm not going to shut up about it until people wake up and realize that these people who are outsiders, they don't give a fuck about you. They care about having their name put out there so they can put out this positive, wonderful image on social media and they can look like king shit and queen shit when they're nothing. They can't relate to you like I can. And most people would say, "Well, Jared, that's just jealousy." I'm not jealous. What do I have to be jealous of? I don't have to act like I belong somewhere when I normally naturally do. I am a child of cancer survivor, period. I don't have to fight so hard or try so hard to behave as though I belong somewhere. I'm already there. And while not everybody, obviously not everybody, has, they don't have any positive to say about me, which fuck them, I don't care. But this is me being real. This is me being as blunt as I can be, and I am tired of holding my tongue to appease everybody because there's a truth that they don't wanna hear, but I'm willing to share it anyway, and I'm not gonna shut up about it, whether it be here or on Facebook or even in the general public. You're never gonna shut me up about this until things change. So, I could be a mod sometime if you wanna get rid of trolls. Well, let me think about that, Alex. Let me think about that. But that's my pet peeve today is just these fake ass people. I don't have to buy a person's friendship. Experience is definitely something you cannot buy. All the money in the world is not gonna change your perception on life. Not in the realm of being sick or losing a child. Jordan Bellows from WIT Pediatric Cancer, she's like, "Well, my mom is a cancer patient," which I sympathize with her mom. I haven't spoken to her mom, but I sympathize with her mom. My mom died from cancer. However, you, Jordan, yourself have not had to go through that. And here you are pretending as though you are queen shit and you're just above and beyond everybody else. And every picture on your page, and I don't have to follow it to know it. Every picture on your page, you've got to be included in there somewhere because this is about you. It's not about these children, it's about Jordan. And I could pretty much append that same thing anywhere across the board when you have people who are not directly impacted by childhood cancer. They are doing this for themselves, and it's obvious. The problem is that no one else is willing to speak up about it because, well, she helps a lot of people. No, she helps herself at your child's expense. She had to buy her way into your heart. She had to buy your compliments. She had to buy your grandstanding of her. Because otherwise, if she didn't have children to attach herself to, she wouldn't have a nonprofit organization. Which, by the way, I wouldn't, recommend giving your money to her. What you do is, instead of giving money to the nonprofit organizations, if you have the money to give, just hand it over directly to the person if you can. Send a check, send a money order. They have PayPal, they have, you know, there are ways of money transferring if you feel comfortable doing that. There are ways of getting money sent to families to help. You don't have to go through nonprofit organizations. Um, and when you get people who are so smug and arrogant like Jordan and many others like her, at the end of the day, this is about them. "Oh, we love you, Jordan." Blah, blah, blah." No, you love the need of her, because if she didn't have shit to give, you wouldn't be turning to her. And the one thing she doesn't have, and I don't care how much fucking money is uh, donated to her charity, the one thing she will never have is personal experience. I'm not rich with money, but I'm rich with knowledge and firsthand experience of what childhood cancer is. You can say I'm jealous, but it's not jealousy. It's the fact of I'm sick and tired of people like Jordan and other people like her using kids so they can look good at the end of the day. Look at me and look how wonderful I am because I helped this family and I paid off the mortgages and I put groceries. You don't think I haven't done that? You don't think I haven't put food in people's mouths, particularly in this demographic? You think I haven't done that? Of course I have. I just don't talk about it. It's not necessary for me to come on social media or YouTube or elsewhere and brag about helping someone who was down on their luck. I'm not so selfish and self-centered that I have to put on public display who I help and why and how I help because it's no one's business. I help people off the radar. Nobody knows. Dad and Amy don't even know what I do. Nobody knows except for the people I help. And that's the way it should be. And I understand nonprofit organizations are considered businesses in the eyes of the federal government. And there are lots of nonprofit organizations who actually publicly show their books to the public. But again, you don't have that experience. You don't have that life. You don't have those specific details in your life's portfolio, so to speak. I do. And I don't understand why so many families are turning to these people who have nothing to say about it, experience or otherwise, they have nothing to say other than they're just here for the look at me. And to those people, I say, fuck you. But I think I've made my point. It took about a half hour to get there, but yeah, that those are my feelings, and it's been it's always going to be a pet peeve of mine until people realize that hey, she's using my kid to make herself look good. We appreciate the help, but my child is not going to be used as a pawn in your popularity game. My child is sick and dying. You don't get to use my kid to make yourself look like some kind of a fucking hero. You're more concerned about how you're going to look to everybody else using my kid as your basis for your behavior. That's shit. That's shit. It's not genuine. It's disingenuous is the word. And they need to be called out more. If you want to help people who are in need of help, fine. Do it. But do it for the right reasons. If you're going to help somebody, you don't got to share it with the world. Just put it under, just put it off the radar. Put it under the fucking rug mat. I don't like it when people brag about me, honestly. I don't like it when people go on Facebook or elsewhere and say, "Well, this is what Jared did for me and he's so amazing." Please don't do that, please. The only thing that matters to me is that when I help you, you benefit from it. I don't have to tell the world. But I'm just trying to be humble with what I do. I don't feel I have to go on social media or even here on YouTube to tell everybody about the kid I helped, because obviously nobody would, right? It's just so stupid. It's a stupid way of thinking. There are lots of people out there who do things behind the curtain, or they do things that are kept off the radar. So I wish there were more people like that. There's too many braggers out there, too many people who are using children as their basis as their foundation, so they have something to brag about. Oh, well, this is my sister. No, they're not your fucking sisters. They're not your fucking brothers. I call these kids warrior brothers, warrior sisters because they are going through what I had to go through. or something similarly relevant to what I've had to go through with chemo and radiation and surgeries and things. It's very important and very personal to me. And I'm not here, I don't like it when people brag. I just don't like braggers. The world is a great place. You don't need people bragging about who they help and why or how they do it. I mean, I mean, how empty is your life to where you gotta go on social media and have people validate your worth? When you help somebody, that says a lot about who you are as an individual. That's internal validation. But are you so weak that you need external validation too? I don't. I'm not weak. I don't need external validation. It's what I feel right in here, and nobody can touch that. Nobody can take that away. How I make other people feel is, to me, that's everything. And that's why I have a huge problem, especially with people who are not in any way associated with childhood cancer. They are just off the rails, just me, every fucking turn. And if you go on Facebook and look at WHIP Pediatric Cancer, you're gonna see Jordan, Bellows' face everywhere with these kids because, she's a hero. How weak is that? Is your life so empty that you can't just help people without the need to be bragged about and without the need to look like number one? Childhood cancer with these advocates, there is a huge divide. And there's a great big popularity contest. It's been going on for ages. I came into advocacy in 2013, but I've been a survivor since 1989. And ever since, when I started to notice the trend or the shift where everybody's attacking each other and they're trying to outdo each other because they want to be number one and everything, it's like, well, that's not what I came here for. I'm an actual child, a cancer survivor. Why do I feel I need to compete with these other people? I'm the one who actually survived it. I was a cancer patient when I was a toddler. I don't feel that I have to compete with all these other people. Like that's bizarre. What am I competing for? And then they just started to turn because, I don't follow suit. I don't I'm not a conformist. I don't go along with what they say or how they do things. I tend to do my own thing. And for me, that makes me larger than life. It's crazy the links people will do for money. Well, it's not even just that really. It's you have people who are they are so like insecure about who they are that they are using people's kids to champion themselves so they don't feel hopeless or useless. That's what it is. I'm not useless. I'm not hopeless. Although I have my doubts about the way things are going on in this world, but I'm not hopeless, and I would dare say that I'm not useless because I have actually helped lots of people. The only difference is I don't have to brag about it to everybody. It's nobody else's business. Most of the people I've helped are respectful of my wishes and they don't plaster it all over Facebook, or even on YouTube if they have YouTube. And that's the way I prefer it. It's just I'm going to help you. I don't need the praise. I don't need the recognition. I don't need the glory. I don't need the praise parade. Just take this help, benefit from it. And if you want to text me or message me to let me know how things are going, please do. That's between me and you. Nobody else has to know. I'm not here trying to make myself look like a hero to your kids and the rest of the world. I went through some pretty hairy shit when I was 2 years old, and being on Facebook and seeing what all these other families go through on a daily basis with their kids, is just it hits me right here because I'm no stranger to it. But I have rambled the fuck on for quite a while about this. I've used up almost a whole hour talking about it, but it's very, it's very pressing to me, and it's very important that people understand my point of view. I'm just sick and tired of seeing all the bragging and the clout chasing vanity jackasses who are just here to get, they're here expecting something because look at me and look how one I am. And I'm really disgusted by the whole paradigm of that, where people are using people's children to try to improve or sharpen their online persona or their online image, and it's awful. So, um, I think now I'm beating a dead horse, but I think I've made my point. Uh, so moving on. Next week is my dad's birthday. My dad will be celebrating a birthday next Monday on April 6th. He's also sharing a birthday with three of my cousins, two whom of which are on my dad's side and one cousin on my mom's side. April 6th, my dad will be, well, I shouldn't put his age, but he'll be turning 68 on April 6th. My two little cousins, Ethan and Hunter, they're going to be celebrating birthday. I don't know how old they are. They got to be what, 13, 12, 13, I think. And then my cousin Tony, if he was still alive, my cousin Tony would be 50 next Monday. So, um, yeah. And dad is planning on doing something out at the Pine Run Inn on Monday, April 6th for his birthday. He says, Jared, I want you to drive because I'm going to get schnockered on my birthday. Okay, dad, I'll take the keys. I'll be your DD. No, not your designated drinker, your designated driver. Uh, but yeah, I volunteered to be dad's designated driver that night, and I absolutely will. So it should be a great time. And if you're local to here, you are all cordially invited. And please, if you decide to show up at the back 40 at the Pine Run out in Clio, I think dad would be utterly surprised to see you. So yeah, make sure you're out there and show some love, man. My dad would be happy to see you guys out there. Hmm, what else was there? It's currently 57 degrees outside right now. It's very warm. And yesterday it was only 34. And it's like, yeah, no wonder people are coming down sick. The change of the weather is just not, it's not nice. Um, I'm just blown away by this Jared Fuller fan account. It's like it just shows you that people will do absolutely anything um to try to get a rise, but it just doesn't get a rise out of me. But I find it really amazing how often I live rent free in people's heads that they would so much as go ahead and create a Jared Fuller fan account. It's just it's marvelous. It is just fucking marvelous, dude. And the fact that they are using a screenshot, uh, 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 yeah, I know, I know. I love you, Jer Bear, blah blah blah. You guys are fucking stupid. Yeah, I love that how they got a still image of my like right up to the camera when I was up to the camera last week. They used that image. They took a screenshot and they're using that as the profile picture. It's like you guys, it's just it's weird. Only so this is a description of the so-called channel. It's back. Now I'm a changed man. So we know that I guess it's a man. We love Jared Fuller on this channel. No negative energy, only fan videos and fans of Jared Fuller. Me and myself never used to like Jared Fuller, but when you start to get to know him, he's really cool. And this was just made on March 17th. Um, Even though I never speak on the streams, I still watch them. No toxicity or hate towards Jer Bear. It's only love and positivity to Jer Bear. I know some of y'all hate him, and I used to too, but he's just grumpy to new people. I'm grumpy to new people. If you really get to know him, he's a funny dude. Well, but see, that's just it. I wouldn't be a grumpy dude if you would actually take time to know me. And if you're going to come into my chat being a stupid little bitch, I'm going to call it out. Now I will challenge him in my political views, but no hate towards Jibber, just hidden love. And if you have anything to say to him, I'll pass it on. Well, no, you won't because you've been blocked from my chat log, but nice try. I used to own an old hate account of Jared, someone else, but now I'm a hard-earned fan. This is incredible. I mean, it's just wow. Hey, what do you think of that, Alex? You say it's crazy the links people will do for money. Well, I think it's crazy the links people will do for attention. I think that's a more appropriate take on that. Yeah, isn't it crazy? That's just it's bizarro to me, but fucking zarro. Um, it's worth giving another read because I'm laughing inside and I'm suppressing laughter. So let me see if I can pull this up again because it's just too fucking funny. It's just too fucking funny, man. So, and there's only one subscriber. There's only one subscriber, Jared Fuller fan account. We need more Jared Fuller ASMR. Oh my gosh. I just love how they took a screenshot of my face when I was up close and made my eyes big. My spirit animal, the real Jer Bear. Yeah. Uh the only animal here is you. Uh Whoever you are behind this account. Let me read this one more time because it's so fucking hilarious. It's back. Now I'm a changed man. We love Jared Fuller on this channel. No negative energy, hypocrite. Only fan videos and fans of Jared Fuller. Why would there be fan videos? Why would there be fan videos? Me and myself never used to like Jared Fuller. Oh, because I speak the truth. But when you start to get to know him, he's really cool. So are you trying to kiss up to me? Flattery won't work, bud. Even though I never speak on the streams, I still watch them. No toxicity or hate towards Jer Bear. It's only love and positivity to Jer Bear. I love how this person repeatedly says my nickname. I know some of y'all hate him. Well, a lot of people hate me, but I don't give a fuck. And I used to too. But he's just grumpy to new people. If you really get to know him, he's a funny dude. He's just grumpy to new people. Yes, I'm so grumpy to new people. Yes, because that's how I act in public too, right? I'm guessing that's what you think of me, that I act grumpy to new people. Yeah, that's funny. Now I will challenge him in my political views. So if you're MAGA, stay the fuck off. But no hate towards Jer Bear. Just hidden love. Hidden love. Oh my gosh. And you have anything to say to him, I'll pass it on. No, you won't. I used to own an old hate account of Jer. Yeah. See, that's what I mean. I live rent free in your head. That you're gonna create sock accounts just to bash on me. But I'm now a hard-earned fan. Hashtag we love Jer Bear. Okay, I'm not gonna suppress laughter that time. That's just too fucking funny. So I'm not even gonna report the channel. Uh, I'm gonna let these people who really have to, it is essential that it is imperative to them that they make videos for me or about me, fan videos. Such a crock of shit. But I will, I was almost when I did that close-up video, I think it was last week or a couple weeks ago. It was last week. It was recent. I knew that someone was going to screenshot that image of me up to my camera with my eyes big like this. There you go. Screenshot that. Now that's another screenshot for another channel. Um, and when they make these channels, it proves my point that they are obsessed with me. If they're in love with me, I wish they would just tell me. Um, but it's so flattering that I live rent free in people's heads like this. It's just so amazing to me. I love it. I can't get enough, man. I can't get enough. I can't get enough of your love. If you've heard of Bad Company, back in the day, Bad Company had a song called "Can't Get Enough of Your Love," uh, and it's a good jam too. But anyway, guys, I'm doing okay. I'm, every day is a new day, and I just try to take every day as it comes. Not every day is going to be a good day. There's going to be lots of days when I just don't want to do anything, or I'm just kind of feeling down and out, and But I, I'm hanging in there, and I'm doing the best I can, and I'm trying to do the right thing. And I know there's a lot of people out there who will not approve of anything I do, and I don't do it for their approval. But you're gonna run into people like whoever this crazy fucking moron is in my chat who decided to come up with Jared Fuller fan account. You're gonna run into things like this. You're gonna see things like this. I have been having conversations with people about when the rumors get spread, when things get said, when things go around. I always press the issue of evidence for the claims. I'm never going to be quiet about that because if you don't have evidence for claims being made about me, why are you believing them? And that's always going to be my starting point. I have people sometimes come up to me and say, "Well, this is what they're saying about you." And my thing is, it's not so much what they're saying about me, but why did you feel the need to show this to me? Do you feel as though what they're telling you is true and accurate? Do you have actual evidence for the claims that they're making? Why would you feel comfortable enough to show this to me? That is the question. I'm aware that people talk shit about me constantly on the internet. And but the thing is I don't pay a lot of attention to people like this anymore. They're they're going to do what they're going to do. They're going to say what they're going to say. I've done my fair share of talking about people in a lot of my videos here on my channel. There's no denying it. A lot of my daily rant videos are still up and they still may be up. I had taken a couple of them down, I think. I took down a daily rant about Tom Mitchell after he passed away because the daily rant was made, it was recorded prior to his death. And now that he's gone, I decided to take it down. But I'm not gonna back down from people who wanna just come on the internet and talk shit. Instead, I'm gonna hold them to what they say. I'm gonna hold their feet to the fire, and that's gonna be the first place that I'm gonna go to is where is the evidence for this? The claim itself is not evidence for the claim. It's evidence of the claim. When you present a claim to me, that's evidence of the claim. When I say where's evidence for the claim, what I'm asking you for is the evidence over here that makes this claim and true. Do we have evidence that can substantiate and confirm the claims that are being made here? Do we have that? And if they don't, that should be compelling enough to you to say, until such time as you show me evidence for this claim, I'm dismissing your claim. And then you continue to do what you do. But we have too many people in life who are stuck on stupid, and they will believe everything they see on the internet. They will believe everything they read on Facebook. They'll believe everything they see on YouTube. Um, because there's a lot of shit on YouTube that's not true, and it can be factually demonstrated to be the case. Um, Now we're in the world of AI, and I can tell the difference between AI and real life. And my dad, I love him to pieces, but he has difficulty discerning the difference between um, what's real and what's not, and I have to explain to him how you can tell the difference. Why am I always the only one in your chat? Because you don't come in here talking shit, Alex. Because you're probably you and Amy and yes, even chewing off my toenail. You're the only decent ones in my chat. I used to have a friend named Linda come in. I haven't seen her in a while. There are lots of decent people who still come and chat. Harley, I'm trying to give Harley the benefit of the doubt. I'm trying to give Harley the benefit of the doubt, and I don't want to just jump to conclusions, and I don't want to just assume that he's up to no good. He might be a genuinely good person. He may not be. I don't know. Or she, whoever. I don't know. Um, I really and truly want for honest, open people to come in my chat and to have honest, open discussions. I don't care for people. If you're just going to come and chat to, say stupid stuff like, "Oh, I want to be a stripper when I get older." That doesn't okay, if that's what you want to do, that is perfectly fine. That is a career choice that you can make. You can do anything you want to do. But, you know, I don't understand why you felt the need to tell me that you wanted to be a stripper when you got older. I don't follow. I don't care what you do as long as you're not hurting anybody. That's it. That's my biggest thing. I don't care what you do as long as you're not hurting people. And there are lots of people, unfortunately, who end up getting hurt, either physically or emotionally, and they are taken advantage of. Again, people who are attaching themselves to the child of cancer world, looking to get a little what from kids because kids are impressionable. And when they're sick, um, that it just makes the vulnerability that much more easier for these vanity types to go attaching themselves to kids and getting the kids to like them because, oh, then they'll think I'm a hero. You live an empty fucking life if you are someone who does that. Uh, I don't live an empty life. I'm doing everything that I want to do, or mostly everything I want to do, and I don't have hate in my heart. I don't, but I have disdain for stupid people, and there's a big difference. I don't tolerate um, people who are just ignorant, and they choose ignorance, willful ignorance, over looking into things and making decisions based on evidence and rational critical thinking. That's where we run into problems. When you get people who are just lazy and sloppy in their thinking, and they will just lazily accept everything they're told. If I told them that the sky was falling, they would just take it as fact. Like, "Oh, okay, the sky's falling, so what do I do?" Um, it's just one of those things. You get people like that. And I deal with them accordingly in the best way that I know how. Um, See, I can't do anything. I can't go anywhere without people, you know, they're either saying something, they've got some kind of a fucking comment to say, or it's just, it's always something. It's always something. It's like, I'm not important enough. I should not be important enough to you to continuously, like this, you know, Jared Fuller fan account. I should not be so important to whoever that is to come up with something like that. Don't you have other things to do with your time? I personally don't get it. Like, don't you have a life? You're not getting a rise out of me. I'm not upset. Um, but it's like at the same time, like, why am I the focus of your whatever it is you're trying to do and it's not working? Why is Harley's profile picture a bunch of bloody screaming bloody faces? I don't know. Maybe that's what he chose. Um, I'm not judging. It's only when he is if Harley comes in here and says something that um is if you're gonna come in here and insult me, you're gone. I don't have to put up with it. But if you want to have conversation, a back and forth like you and I are, Alex, I don't have a problem with Harley coming in to have a back and forth conversation. I don't have a problem with anybody coming in to have a back and forth conversation as long as they're not being credulous in what they're doing. I don't have a problem with it. So, as far as a profile picture, I don't know. Maybe that was just the profile picture that they had chosen, and I'm not gonna judge based on a profile picture. I don't care, um, it's not a I don't view that as inappropriate. That's just the profile picture that they chose. Now, even if their profile picture, and I'm gonna say this publicly, even if their profile picture says MAGA or Trump or whatever, I'm still not going to ban them from my channel. Although I just said, yeah, if they come in here with their pro MAGA shit, I'm out or I'm going to get rid of them. But even if their profile picture says MAGA, make America great again, I'm not going to ban them. They have a right to have whatever profile picture they choose. Even if they're using my image, which by the way is against YouTube rules. You can't use my image without my permission. Um, but even when they come in, like this Jared Fuller fan account, they come in and say, um, you know, stupid, or they use my image as their profile picture. Um, I know what they're up to. I know what they're up to. They're trying to get a rise, and it's just it's not going to work. So, um, I tend to let that go. I tend to let it go, and I just ban them. I block them because it's easier to deal with. And when there are pictures that but then again, I think YouTube would stop a lot of, inappropriate, like, pictures for profile pictures. I think they'd put a stop to it. So I wouldn't have to ban someone for a picture because I think YouTube would actually, they would catch it before I did. Now, if they're gonna come in here trying to justify child abuse or whatever the case may be, their fucking history, period, point blank, end of discussion. Because we're not doing that. I have a zero tolerance against people who would even remotely think about coming in my chat and trying to make excuses for child abuse. They would be gone so fucking fast, you wouldn't know what hit them. They wouldn't know what hit them because we don't do that here. Um, I will speak out against child abuse at every fucking turn. But it is officially the 4 o'clock hour, and that's how we're going to end it. I'm against child abuse. We're going to end it on that note. My name is Jared Fuller, aka the Jerry Bear. I thank you all for coming in and watching this week. And Alex, I appreciate you coming in. And Amy, I'll see you in a little while. Chewing off my toenail, thank you. And to the Jared Fuller fan account, this is for you. You can go fuck yourself. So have a great week, guys. I will be back next week and next month. April 5th, 2026. See you then. Bye bye.